Check 1, 2. Check. Check hello. Cool. I think this is working. Sorry guys for the confusion. Wasn't sure if I was already live. There we go. Nice one. If you can hear me right now, please put a 1 into the live chat. Hello everyone. This is Dan speaking from London, United Kingdom. Thank you, Mango, Christopher, Moritz. Pleasure. Happy 2018. Things seem to be working. And yeah, if you're joining this live stream right now, thank you. If you watch it later, thank you too for watching it. The topic of this live stream is 2018 updates. But before we start and talk about updates, I wish each and every one of you a happy 2018. And I hope I can give you some motivation. I hope you are all doing great. You've had a good start into 2018 so far. I don't know if you've watched my latest vlog actually, which was all about starting the year off with like a nasty cold. I have recovered and I hope you are doing good. Hello Moritz, hello Brian, hello Helge, hello Simon. By the way, this background picture, I've got to give photo credits to my friend Ralph. He and his girlfriend, they visited us a couple of days ago, and this picture was taken from the London Eye, and I've asked him if I can use it because I thought it's just such a gorgeous picture. And Ralph, thank you very much for the picture. Ralph, by the way, is the guy who joined me for, 2017 at Ironman Hamburg. Before the race, he came all the way from Stuttgart, Germany, and up to Hamburg and supported me. Thanks a lot again for that one. And I'm trying. I don't know if Ralph, I don't know if you're on it at the moment, but I'm trying to get him to come to Kalmar with me on in August. He hasn't committed yet. I'm expecting. Anyway, 2018 questions and answers. I have prepared, the German part in me has prepared a couple of structured notes here so that we can get this live stream up and running smoothly. Got some general news that we can talk about, and at any time, guys, if you've got any questions, I'm keeping an eye out here on the live chat. If there's any question, drop me a message and I try to get into that. So I've got some general news. We can talk about my upcoming 10-kilometer race, first race in 2018, yay! And we also talk about more races in 2018, because the last live stream, I don't know who of you was there, was beginning of October, and yeah, that's where I shared, you know, I'm gonna do Ironman Kalmar, but there's been a few more additions to the race calendar in 2018. And then I'm also going to talk to you how I'm going to structure 2018. Because I spent the last week thinking about how we can get this working smoothly. Let's just see, do you actually see my screen here? Yeah, you do see my screen. It's just on my mobile show things differently. Sorry. Sorry for the confusion. If you do see like this agenda on the screen, can you please do me a favor and just let me know, type in 1 in the chat window, just to make sure, you know, that I'm not going through all of the stuff and you're not seeing that. Perfect, Christopher. You can see it. Brilliant. Going back like to the last stream that I did in October, I have copied one specific slide that that you can see over here, and those have been like my targets for off-season. I always think it's a good exercise to reflect, you know, how has off-season actually worked. I mean, based in London, I mean, everyone's off-season is a little bit different. Like, I classify my off-season, you know, from the last race that I had in October, all the way like the end of December. That's kind of like before I then shift the focus into 2018. And I have, like back then I wrote down those 4 bullet points. Like, I wanted to do more yoga, I wanted to focus on my diet, and I wanted to work on my run pace, and I wanted to improve my bike FTP. So what how did my off season actually work like in the end? So and I hope, I don't know what your targets were like for your off season. I hope you have been productive. I'm pretty curious, like, to hear, you know, how your off season went. I've got numbers, and that's the charm, like, of being a data driven tech geek person. I've got numbers, you know, to show how my off season has been. Anyway, but before I show you the numbers, yoga, I don't have any numbers actually on that one, to be completely honest. Because I went to Mexico and I did a lot of yoga, and I thought, yeah, when I come back like to London, I mean, obviously in London there's so many yoga classes. I didn't do one single yoga class at all. So failed on the yoga. My diet, to say the least, I didn't gain too much. So is that a success? Run pace, that's what we're going to talk about when we talk about the 10K. I think I've been very good, like, on the run pace. And on the bike FTP, because of all the travels, I have not really been able to do as many bike rides as possible and increase my FTP. And guys, very interested in hearing if and when your last FTP test was. So, and I've got to be completely honest, my last FTP test, because I think FTP tests are one of the worst things in the world, and I'm afraid and I'm scared, I don't like them at all. And I think in the entire 2017 I haven't done a single FTP test, so I think it was end of 2016 when I did my last FTP test. Christopher, have a wonderful and productive swim session. Thank you for joining. That live stream is recorded, so feel free to watch it later. But thanks for Moritz. No, you didn't miss a lot. We literally just started, and I'm talking about off season, and do a bit of a retrospective. Renan, happy 2018 to you too. Renan is the guy, whenever he watches the Warriors, they lose. I had to drop that again, Renan. Sorry about that. Anyway, I talked about numbers, guys, and off season. Before Brian, I get to you in 1 minute. Let me just finish like this off season thing. Here is the data, you know, how my off season actually worked. Like, so I've crunched. This is Training Peaks data. So I've crunched. This is like from the beginning of November until or what is the end, like the first week of January. So how I actually spent my off season, and you can see 63% I spent with running. That supports my target that I wanted to focus more on the running side of things. 17% time spent on the bike and 13% on the swim. And as you can see, actually, here you see my TSS value over time, which was like at 77, like at the beginning of November, and then you actually see, I didn't have any major drops in my TSS, so I maintained a steady training workload. Just for you guys, like, to compare, when I entered Ironman Hamburg, my CTL value was at 110. That could probably, hopefully puts things into perspective a little bit. So I'm kind of like all right, I'm pleased, with the off season. You see, like, at the end there was a little bit of a dip where I've got a cold, and that's the thing, like with your fitness value. If you can't train for 5 days, it goes down very, very, very quickly. And in terms of my targets, bike FTP didn't really work on it, but I don't know if you saw one of the videos, like what I think, I've swapped the bike FTP with like the swim focus, because I saw a Swim Smooth certified coach in London who did a swimming analysis. There's a video on my channel as well that you can watch. So I've swapped that a little bit, and I used the off season to focus on the swimming. So that was like my off season in numbers, and I have got something over here for you before I forget that. That's like the general topics. I got an email from Training Peaks, because since the last live stream in October and now, I've done that video, how much did I train for Ironman Hamburg. I don't know if you've watched that, where I did like all this number crunching. And yeah, they got back to me, and they said, look, thanks a lot, for the video, and here is a code for your viewers to get 20% discount. So Training Peaks is my #1 software. I wouldn't want to miss it. That's one of the subscriptions that I have, and that is very important to me. I've even, don't know about you guys, but I've even cancelled Strava, because and I can use the free version on Strava, but all the number crunching and data analysis I do in Training Peaks. So that's what I do. Anyway, like, this should give you like a 20% discount, and feel free. Also for myself, I should probably update my account as well. That's the code for Training Peaks. Another general update. Renan, I don't know if you're still with me, if you're watching that. I think last year when we spoke, you mentioned this whole AVA and the status, if I keep working hard, I'm gonna be really good, like in the status. I didn't really pay a lot of attention like to this Ironman World Athlete status thing, but this is an email that I received from those guys, which is quite nice to read. Like, that was how I ranked in 2017, and the country that I represented was Sweden. That's my age group, 35, and I finished in my age group in Sweden 11th with in total 8,800 points. That is from 3 Ironman races. Ironman Kalmar, full distance gives you more points, I think. Does it? I don't know. Ironman Kalmar, Ironman Turkey, and the 70.3 Turkey, and Ironman Staffordshire. Those were the 3 races, and for the rating, only 3 races count. So even if you do 4, only the 3 best, and that's my ranking. So I finished in the, and silver status means I'm in the, or should have done, am I in the top 10 or top 5%? Top 5? I don't know, bronze, silver. Anyway, that's pretty cool. They asked me like to update my address, and I should get like a small present. I'm excited, and then there's a few other benefits that you get if you're you can register sooner, a few perks. That's it, like, for the general updates that I wanted to give you, and now I want to talk about what I've been working on in the off season, which was really wanted to work on my 10K pace. And here's the thing, with doing speed work like in my training, ever since I transitioned like to long distance or even triathlon, I haven't focused, like all my focus was on endurance. So I stopped, you know, doing track workouts, which I did so many times before I did the triathlon. And, you know, now that I've done like my first Ironman last year, I felt like, well, the pressure is off, you know, I've achieved that. Let's just refocus and see, you know, what areas I need to work on. And I've also found out that if I really wanted to improve my pace, like the second we hit March, I don't think like there's a lot of opportunity to get really faster, because, you know, then you're doing like your heavy base and build blocks, and they just take a lot out of you if you train for full distance. So my plan was spend the off season and the first 3 months of 2018 to work on my 10K PB. And the last 10K race that I did was, I think, 2 years ago, where I ran like 42 minutes. So this coming Sunday, I am gonna run my first 10K race again. And the reason why I've got like this training Bible book here by Joe Friel is it's stuff that I wanted to show you. It's a book that I can highly recommend. It is really gives you a lot of great insights on triathlon training. I've got like a chart over here. It really helps, you know, to focus that each of your workout that you do in your training should have a specific focus, whether it's muscular force, speed skills, aerobic endurance. And you have to have like these three basic ones in the corner before you can do like the ones like muscular endurance or anaerobic endurance. So focus on these ones first before you do the more advanced workout. So whatever workout you do, and it's kind of like straightforward, you know, for running, aerobic endurance are like your long runs or your even like recovery runs, focus on your endurance. Muscular force are more like the hill repeats runs, and speed skills are if you talk about running, we talk about doing a few strides. Anyway, so been reading this book and I highly recommend it. And there is a nice test to find out what your weaknesses are in all the 3 different sports. There's a set of like 15. This is just an excerpt. There's a set of 15 different questions, and you either agree or disagree, and then in the end you count like all the agrees together. And here are my results for the 3 disciplines. And it says if you have like a 0 or a 1, that's a clear weakness, and a 4 or 5 dedicates like not dedicates, a 4 or a 5 says that this is one of your strengths actually. So here are my results, and I think what you can see very clearly is that I'm lacking one thing that I'm lacking in all different ones is like speed skills. And you don't have to be a genius, you know, just get a bit of a feeling. Man, I had that feeling, what I just mentioned, because I've always focused on endurance, never done like the speed workouts. But this test just made it very clear, like to me, that if I wanted to improve and work on something, I should probably look into some speed work. Brian, hang on with me. I'm gonna do the 10K, and then I'm gonna get back to your questions about the cleats and the bike. So long story cut short, wanted to improve my 10K. I've chosen that Runner's World. This is like a German version. 12-week training plan to get my 10K from 42 minutes to my goal is 39:59. Boom. This is like from week 6 and week 11. Every week was like between 4 and 5 workouts. At least 1 interval training. Here you see like 8 times 1,000 in week 6 in 4 or 5. And then a tempo run and a long, slow one on the weekends, and then another run. And yeah, here's just 2 examples of that training. And here, the number cruncher, Dan, has put together the results of, oh, this is a spoiler. You know how here every bar that you see like over here is 1 week, and I finished, and this is where you can see like how those 12 weeks, actually I'm in week 12 right now, so here you see like 11 weeks, how the training went for the 10K and whether I'm ready, you know, just from the numbers or not. And as you can see, I think my average, the average distance by week, as you can see, was 27 miles every week. Doesn't sound like too much. Duration by week on average 4 hours. And this is why I wanted, don't just look at the average pace or average mileage or like time spent. That's why I've added like the time in the heart rate zones, because one of the big differences in training for the 10K versus my Ironman training is more intensity, more intervals, more tempo runs. So you see, you can also see that like these dark red ones were like my workouts in zone 5. So and as you can see, in proportion you do see a lot, you know, where I was running like in my higher heart rate zones. So and the second one is an interesting one, whether you can say, you know, am I ready or not. In terms of completion, I was still, you see the gray bits like in the middle one, that's the target that I should have done, and the light blue one is what I actually did. So this doesn't look really bad in my opinion. So I'm pleased with my training. I saw, I don't know who knows the Macmillan Running page. I think if you don't, check it out, macmillanrunning.com. They have a post about how to nail your perfect 10K race, and they say if you manage to do like 2 weeks before your 10K race, if you manage to do 4 times 2 miles at your target pace, and for me that's a 4 minute per kilometer, if you can do 4 times 2 miles, then you will, that's what they say, then you will definitely hit your target. Did I do those 4 times 2 miles? No, I didn't. My training plan didn't want me to do that. But I did 5 times 2K in target. Don't know if that's comparable. Anyway, we shall see how everything's gonna go like on Sunday. I've put the training in, and I shall see how I can adapt on Sunday. So cross your fingers for me. On Sunday, the race is gonna be at Windsor, where we're gonna have a wedding as well this year. If we jump from the topic of triathlon to our royals, not around the palace, but around the lake close to Windsor. So next vlog is going to be about that 10K race, so keep you posted how things are going on that one. Brian, I'm going to jump to your question now. There are 2 types of pedals, both clip-in. Let me just check that one. 99% use a traditional cleat, others like me using a mountain bike cleat. Do you know if there's a power difference between the 2? Oh, I don't know if anyone else knows that. I haven't done any research like in that one. I have no knowledge about that. I'm sorry, Brian. I use the Lock Clio cleats, so they are just road bike cleats. Don't know. I am afraid. We have come to the 2018 updated race calendar, all in one chart that I've put together for you. Hope you can see that. that is my 2018. And from the last update, guys, quite a few things have changed. So, and I'm gonna briefly talk you through that. So this 10-kilometer run like at Windsor is this upcoming weekend. Then I've got a backup, you know, in case I don't hit my target. This time of the season, there's a lot of races, whether it's 5Ks, 10Ks or halves. So I will hit that sub 40 this year. And if I run whatever, many 10-kilometer races. So I've got two that I've already signed up, the Windsor one and the one in London. I don't know, is anyone of you doing, because that's not on the list, I think May, the next one, I'm going to be in Edinburgh for the marathon, but I'm not running it, I'm supporting. So in case some of my UK viewers are running Edinburgh, please let me know. That's an opportunity like to meet up. And this is, here's the bag by the way, for the winter run in London, in central London. This is like the second 10K on February the 4th, a very popular one in London. It's going to be very busy, it's going to be very cold, we shall see. That was actually the race where I did my previous personal best. Anyway, next one on the list is the 70.3 in Staffordshire. I did Staffordshire, Ironman Staffordshire last year, but you see the 3 question marks. I am not sure if I'm gonna run it or not. I will very likely go there if I'm not running to support my friend Dave. But I haven't decided where I'm gonna run myself, because if we move like to the other circle on July the 8th, I am gonna do the Gauntlet Half. Oh, I don't really know how to pronounce that. Hevercastle Triathlon, which is 60 miles south of London, and it's a gorgeous castle, and I'm proper excited to race there. So it's not an Ironman branded one. It is, I think it's ITU branded, and it's a British Championships for middle distance. Yeah, it's a middle distance triathlon. So, and I think in the last stream in October someone recommended, I don't know if you're watching that right now or if you want to add a comment below it, you recommended me like these Castle series triathlons to me last year. So I'm now gonna be able to do one. Then in my last vlog I mentioned I'm gonna do like Vätternrundan in Sweden, which is a 180-mile bike ride. Which I did in 2015, and this is crazy. I don't know why I'm doing that race again, to be honest, because I was in a lot of pain after 100 miles. But I'm doing it again. I'm doing it again, 180 miles. The next one, and this was one thing that I mentioned in the last vlog, this is one of the news. Look at that one here. I don't know if you can see that. That's the British Triathlon. This is just like a band, you know, that you put around your head or around your throat. Anyway, I did and this is funny, I did qualify for the World Championships in the sport of aquathlon. No triathlon, it's just a swim and a run. And I did a race in last year, like at Hyde Park. There is a vlog out there as well. My friend Mark and Andy, thanks again for supporting me back then. You were there when I raced, and that race was good enough for me to qualify to represent the United Kingdom to take part in Odense, Denmark, at the Aquathlon World Championships. How crazy and cool is that? So I'll be representing Team GB for the first time. I can order one of those Team GB race suits, which I'm proper excited. And this is also a little bit interesting because, yeah, I was, I don't know if you know it, like I was born in Germany, I've been in the UK now for 8 years, and this is kind of like, you know, some people would say, hang on, you know, why not representing Germany? And I said, you know, the UK is my new home, and this is where I spent the majority of my time training, and where that the UK brought me like into the sport of triathlon. I've got a lot of friends, you know, without them I wouldn't be doing the sports. I'm 100% proud, you know, to represent Team GB, and my swim training, you know, that I'll be doing is hopefully going to help me to work, because it's my weakest discipline, and you know, my 10K work as well will help me, you know, on the swim and run discipline. So I'll be working hard to represent and meet up with a lot of inspiring athletes, like in Denmark on July the 14th. And then also, I also qualified not just for the Worlds in Odense, and I think this is absolutely epic. And I think one thing about like the aquathlon that I want to mention as well is like the cool thing is, because you run like a 5K after you swim, I think like 700 meters. I don't know the exact distances yet, but you know, this race is kind of like over in half an hour, 40 minutes. So unlike the long distance races, it's going to be really, really short. So I've got Denmark in July, and also the Euros in Ibiza in end of October. And this is going to be nice, you know, a nice end to the season, doing one more aquathlon in Ibiza. I think that is going to be really, really fun. So should anyone be at any of these events, please drop me a message. I'm excited, you know, to meet up with you or to say hello. And then you see the green one, which is my A race, Ironman Kalmar, which, yeah, all the focus of my training is gonna be on. That's what I'm training for. And then I've got one more question mark, which is end of September. I may do one more Ironman, 70.3. It doesn't have to be Ironman. So lesson learned from last season, I should not wait. I think recovery 70.3. I think last time I waited like 8 weeks between my full distance and the 70.3, and it was mentally quite tough to get back into the race mode. So I hope I can do that like 6 weeks or even 5 weeks after my full distance. So if you've got any suggestions, please drop me a message. Sorry, I have not been scrolling like on these messages, so I'm just catching up over here. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, I missed so much. I'm so sorry. Alright, let's catch up quickly. Silver was top 5. Thank you, Renan. Mango, you asked about the CTL to the Strava statistics add-on fitness score. I looked into that because I've got the plugin as well, and I don't think they compare at all, to be honest. So I wouldn't put a lot of emphasis like on it, to be honest. Hey Julie, it is a pleasure to meet you. Julie, I have been following her journey. She did Ironman in Texas last year. Congratulations. Keen to hear like what your next one is, Julie, if you're still doing any races in 2018. So Gretzky, hello, Helge. Thank you, Renan. Renan, you say there's not a lot of difference. I thought there was, but I probably need to look into that one. Gretzky's sick chart. And then, sorry. Come to Santa Cruz, late September. Renan, that end of September, right? There's just one issue. There's no NBA. Just kidding. Yeah, I can look into that, Renan. I can definitely look into that. And then one more question, are you doing something in Germany this year? I will probably be like at Ironman Breisgau just to support a few fellow German triathlon YouTubers over there. But because my family lives very close to that region, so but yeah, I'm not racing there, and probably just a few, because I'm in Frankfurt a lot for work, so that's why I do a lot of training, but no races in Germany planned. Brian, I know you're doing Brian, I feel for you. Brian's gonna do his first Ironman in Lanzarote, and I think Lanzarote is amongst the top 10 of the most evil Ironmans, so we talked about that before, but you're gonna crash it, this is the attitude. You're gonna crash it, and then you're gonna do Marbella. That's gonna be a piece of cake for you after that one. This is just to celebrate like your success. You'll be great. I could do Rügen at the 9th of September, Nice at the 16th, or Portugal. Oh yeah, Mango. I will have a think about that. Is that like the Strandräuber, like the Ironman in Rügen, right? Yeah. Portugal got very good reviews last year. Weymouth end of September. I could also do Weymouth, even though I gotta be completely honest, I've had mixed reviews about Weymouth. And yeah, good old UK country roads are not the best for cycling. Says the one that is gonna do a middle distance in the UK. No, I'm not complaining. But you know what I mean. Actually, my last 70.3, like in Staffordshire, like my nutrition system, my hydration system fell off just from the constant bumps like on the road. Sweden is absolutely amazing if you look at good roads. Anyway, like this is the chart. Thanks a lot for all of your suggestions, and I keep you posted in case of I do some more stuff, or I make a call like on the 70.3. There's definitely been great suggestions from you guys out there on the races. And this is the last point for tonight. This is how I'm gonna get, I'm gonna train for 2018. And yeah, I mentioned it earlier, like Training Peaks is my number one software. And it's quite nice. You can put, all of your races, you see like these A, B, C cups, CC cups, B cups, and so on. You can put them like into this planning tool, and it does the magic for you. So you see where I'm at the moment, like the second grade. I'm still in a preparation phase. I start my base training in mid-March. This is where it's gonna get serious, where you see like the bar charts of workload increasing, base 1, base 2. I do 3 base blocks each 4 weeks, 3 hard, one not so hard, and then 2 build blocks, and then peak. This is stuff that you also read like in Friel's book. This is a linear periodization model, so you gradually increase like your training load like to your A race, which is obviously Ironman Kalmar. I think the thing is, like, there was a question, Mango, if you need Training Peaks Premium to buy and use a plan. Not to buy and use a plan, but if you want to make modifications to your plan, which you very, very, very likely gonna do. And by modifications I mean shuffle workouts around. You can't do that like on the free version, if I remember that correctly. I hope you've joined in early enough that you saw like this 20% discount code, right? If you wanted to go for the full plan. But yeah, I think you need to, and you can use a training plan more than once, yeah. Because I am considering reusing my training plan. My training plan is actually like on Training Peaks already, the one from last year. But this one here, like this ATP, this is like the planning of your year. And what I did like to get that one, you don't see any of the workouts in here, obviously, like on this plan. This just tells you what CTL or what training stress you need to do in each week and in each block to in the end get, and my target was to get to a specific CTL value on your race day. And I'm gonna jump like to the next block. It is 30 weeks until the Ironman. And what I did like in the previous chart is I set the target, the CTL target for Ironman Kalmar, where I want to be at 130. And what does 130 mean? Frank, best of luck for 70.3 in Rügen. Best of luck for that. Jumping back like to what does 130 actually mean? If you watched my how much did I train for my first Ironman, I finished my Ironman in 10:43. The chip time 10:42 whatsoever, and it actually says if you are at the CTL value of 110, you finish in 10:45. I don't know if it was just a coincidence or not, but it was so accurate over here. So I was like at 110, and this is my finish time. So if I wanted to do a sub 10 Ironman in Kalmar, I'd have to pull 130 CTL. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. This is gonna be tough because this is gonna be very tough. I don't know whether I can actually. I mean, I've put that like into the chart so that this is what I need to do to finish like at 130. But given that the pressure is off, that I've done my first Ironman already, and I wouldn't say like enjoy, but I've got a little bit more knowledge, the pressure is off. I can see how things go, and I can, like last year I was really like, oh my god, I shouldn't miss like a workout, I've got to be so consistent, otherwise I don't know if I'm going to finish the Ironman. I don't have like these concerns right now, so I feel I've got a little bit more leeway in terms of tweaking my training. So I'm gonna see, whether my work-life balance, well, that sounds a bit funny, whether it actually allows me to get to 130. So I'll see along the way if I get to 130. If not, so be it. I can't change it. I do wanna improve on my time. That's my target, and I kind of like wanna. Why another one, or what my targets are for like this Ironman Kalmar. First of all, I think it's very difficult to compare to different races. So Ironman Kalmar and Ironman Hamburg. So it wouldn't be fair. I think Ironman Kalmar is easier than Ironman Hamburg, just based on the bike course. Is a little bit flatter, and yeah, you could argue about the swim. I mean, the one is open water. Some people would also say that could actually be you're faster, like in open water in Kalmar, but I don't know. Anyway, I don't really want to compare, but I just want to prove, that's my target. Prove to myself. First of all, I actually really enjoyed Ironman Hamburg, and I want to prove to myself that it was not just a one-off. So I can do it again, and I hope I'm gonna like it as much as I did Hamburg. So that's why I'm doing another one, and then I want to improve. So we shall see how I'm getting there. And you see like on this chart over here, 30 weeks until Ironman Kalmar. My CTL at the moment is at 68, super low. So I think it's always like a good example, like to show you've got a mountain to climb, and you're at the very beginning right now. My fitness is the lowest it's been in a long time, but if you don't do the first step, you're not gonna get like to the peak. So aim big and see where that takes you. So we shall see. That's what I want to do. 30 weeks to Kalmar, but one step at a time. And my next step is the 10K race on Sunday, and thank you, Brian. And yeah, we shall see how that goes. And I think, given I don't know who's joining me here like on the live stream, but I'm a hobby triathlete, right? And I think most of us are, right? And I think fun and should always be, you know, in the forefront, and that's something that we should strive for and not lose focus on. You know, the second it just becomes tedious and annoying, then why are you doing it? And for me, I'm looking forward, you know, like to the training, to improving, and to new races, and to learning. Every season is different and exciting, and that's one of the reasons why I'm also gathering and collecting like all the data, and why I put together like the videos, because like all these moments are amazing. I enjoy them, and let's see, you know, where I'll be training in 2018 and what the races are gonna be, and if it's gonna be ups or downs. And I think it's the same for all of us here. Hopefully, don't lose the fun in whatever you are doing. Let me just check if there's, I think this is a good conclusion to this live stream. Been talking a lot. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I thank you a lot, you know, that you've been here. Let's just give it another couple of minutes. If there's any more questions that I have missed out, that you want to ask me or that you want to share, we can go through that right now. If not, you know, I hope that could help you, motivate you a little bit, talk about training, triathlon, and all the bits and pieces. And yeah, if you are, yeah, 130 CTL is epic. Yeah, thank you for Sunday. The thing about the 130 CTL, you know, I spent 10.5 hours for the 110 CTLs on average in the 24 weeks leading to Ironman Hamburg. And if you work 40 plus hours a week on your, if you have like a full job, 10.5 hours are a lot on average. That's just the average, right? We shall see, and I've got to up my game. It doesn't necessarily mean more hours, right? So I think, you know, one thing that I'm going to change is I'm probably going to up the intensity. So, and this is what training plan helps you as well a lot. It's not about, you know, the time spent, but make those workouts a little bit harder and get like the training stress score higher. So I think that could be a key. Question about nutrition. I'm using Tailwind. I have not heard Tailwind, Brian, to be honest. Do you use gels? Yes, I do use gels. I do use gels. If you check out the video before Ironman Hamburg, where I'm getting ready, where I'm putting the bike together, I'm also sharing like all the gels, you know, that I've bought. It has been such a long time that I've taken a gel. Actually, Dan, you're lying. I took one of those. Is it? I don't know the brand, but I used one on the interval session actually last weekend. But it's a mixture of electrolytes and carbs that I'm using. Yeah, I do use gels. Not so much now for the training, but yeah, just for races and for the. It's a Colorado product, excellent in a drink, nice. I mean, what I really do is like on my, now that I train a lot indoor, like on the bike, and on my runs, I drink, I use like those high 5 electrolyte tablets that I drink, and then just have 1 or 2 bananas straight after the workout. That's what I do at the moment for nutrition. Yeah, and races is a different ball game. But for instance, for the 10K race that I'm doing this Saturday, I'm just gonna run through 40 minutes, boom, done. I'd probably have 1 gel before the race, and then just Dave's given me advice and said, you know, just, you know, when the pain comes, just accept it and push through. And I think, you know, that's what it's funny, you know, people say, you know, long distance triathlon is so hard, but I feel it's not like so much physical pain, like it's a lot mentally. And I think a 10K is gonna be hurt in a very different way. And wouldn't say I'm scared, you know, of the pain, but, you know, lactic acid like in your muscles, it's gonna be definitely a different pain. That's why I think I've mentioned it before. I actually think like the marathon is harder than a full distance triathlon. How do you find? You're looking at my Garmin. Absolutely epic. The Garmin 735 XT is super lightweight, and I really enjoy. I mean, it's easy. It does work, you know, for my swim workouts. I use it in combination with Training Peaks. So if I do have interval workouts for my running, I'll sync them. You know, I structure them using Training Peaks, and then I use the connector to the Garmin. There's like an IQ app that you can use, and then that's pretty good. Thoughts on the Canyon TT bike? Thinking of ordering one in February for 70.3 and Ironman later this year, Ben. Have you seen like the unboxing of my SpeedMax? It's let me share one thing. So I think it really depends, you know, giving you an answer on you know, whether it's worth it or not. I love it personally, but anyway, everyone has a different view. Let me just share one thing, and I think this has been, you know, my learning on getting a bike or not. When I got started like 2 years ago, like with triathlon, I'm a super newbie still, right? Like I'm now like entering season 3, and in my first season, you know, where I did my first 70.3, I was very sure, you know, that I'm gonna do that, like, and I didn't have, like, when I entered my first season, I didn't have a road bike, so I bought like a road bike, and I've got a Planet X. So my advice was, you know, like for your first race, go like with a regular road bike, and my budget back then was like 1,000 pounds, and that's what I got my Planet X for. And see, you know, do the first races. I did like a sprint triathlon, Blenheim Palace. There's a video on there as well, and I've done my first 70.3 on that road bike, and you can do great times on that road bike, and use it to figure out whether you actually enjoy the sport. And if you then know, you know, you want to do the sport longer, then your road bike is not going to become obsolete. Then you can think of getting the TT bike. For me, the TT bike was important. I thought, like, this is an investment, you know, and I also wanna do that sport much longer. So use it. But the other truth about the TT bike, just to let you know, it has been in my, what is it? If you follow my blogs, I don't know, I think I've shared it. It's actually in the bedroom, my TT bike. Small flat in London, issue. Anyway, I think, you know, you use your TT bike the 2 months probably leading up, let's say 2-3 months leading up to your big race. Like in your race season, this is where you use your bike. The majority of your time in off season, in winter right now, I train on my road bike. So just be aware, you know, that you won't be using it. But other than that, the brand Canyon, I mean, I love my SpeedMax. So I can highly recommend it. Let's just see. How many hours a week would you recommend to complete an Ironman in under 12 hours? I've recently moved over from rowing, Simon asked, and have entered Ironman Copenhagen. Good luck this weekend. Thank you, Simon. And congratulations to doing Ironman Copenhagen. A friend of mine is doing that too. How many hours would you recommend to complete an Ironman in under 12 hours? Your background is rowing. This is so difficult. I think I need to know a little bit more. I mean, people looked at me when I said, you know, 10.5 hours they thought, oh, this is not a lot, and I did it like in 10:42. But then keep in mind the endurance sport that I've been doing before, so this is tricky. Realistically, I wouldn't average under 10 hours, to be honest. That's just my gut feeling. I think I'm already, if you read in a lot of books, also like in this training Bible book, this is kind of like I'm at the bare minimum. Like that's what a lot of people say to even finish, right? So, but then I've done a good result, you know, like with that time. So it's a very tricky one. But don't stress out about things. And I think one very good advice for first timers on any discipline is in your very first or second year, just try to go out as often as you can, what's possible, and don't think about too much about like the structure of the workouts. Just train and see any training is good for you, you know. That is what I would go. Go with the Di2 system, worth the extra dollars. Yeah, it is more expensive, but I agree. I think it's absolutely worth it. And keep in mind, if you don't go for Di2, a lot of frames, especially the Canyon one that I got, I asked Canyon and I was not able to upgrade it at the later point. So if I had gone for a 105 or like non-Di2, I wouldn't have been able to upgrade it to a Di2. So the electric shifting thing is worth it. Guys, I don't see any more questions in the chat. I think we're wrapping this one up now. Let's all get some rest wherever you are at the moment. Smash the training tomorrow. I wish you best of luck for January. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for liking, commenting, means a lot. And I think we're gonna hear each other again, at least in my next vlog, where you're gonna find out how my 10K race went. You see, like in all of my videos, by the way, there's a Strava link on my profile, so you can request to follow me, and then if you want a spoiler how my race went on Sunday, you can find that when I upload it, like straight after the race. So oh, you were on the Trovo, Simon. Oh, that's good. And Brian is gonna do another one. If you get to Dublin, message me. We will do a 10K run, then have a pint. That does sound like a good plan, Brian. Same should you ever be. No one's gonna be in Edinburgh, right? So that could be. Anyway, if anyone's in Edinburgh, let me know in May. Or those of you that are running London Marathon, I'll definitely be supporting the people that are doing London Marathon. Let me know. Guys, with that being said, we've done almost 1 hour. Appreciate you taking the time. A lot of love from London, from the top of London. Great Tuesday tomorrow, or whenever you're watching this video. Have a great start in the day, end of the day. And with that being said, you take care, and I see you in the next vlog. Bye everyone.